It is said, somewhere, hidden deep within the mountains of Pitt Lake, British Columbia, lies a source of pure gold worth billions. It is a tale passed down through generations with a lure of wealth beyond human imagination.
This is over 100-year-old mystery. Heard this when I was a teenager. It's bigger than big time. It's legendary.
Here I am. I'm amidst legends. So who do we have? We have Adam and Don. So Adam on the bottom there. And Don as well. You worked on this show, The Deadman's Curse. So Adam, what was the show all about?
Well, I mean, this show is basically us looking for a gold mine somewhere in the region of Pitt Lake, British Columbia. This lost gold mine is said to be cursed. And this lost gold mine essentially is somewhere in between the mountains of Pitt Lake, along the coast mountains, all the way up to where some people think almost into Butte Inlet. So we're talking a wide range of mountains, glaciers, lakes, all along the coast of British Columbia.
There's nuggets everywhere.
We're looking for Slumach's gold mine.
The stories about this Slumach guy that found gold.
That Slumach was a murderer killing to protect the gold that he had found. As he stood on the gallows, Slumach had expressed a curse.
When I die, the mine dies.
You're obsessed with this. You've been trying to find this gold for 20 years.
Yeah, this lost gold mine has actually been, so I've been doing expeditions into these mountains for the last 20 years. And these expeditions range from looking under the glacier, over the glacier, up mountains, in lakes. So basically you have to do research. So this isn't just, a hike in the outdoors and let's go camping for the weekend. These are major expeditions that involve planning, research, and there's a historical side to this lost gold mine. What's really fascinating about this lost gold mine is that there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of different people that have tried looking. There's a lot of people that have went missing looking for this lost gold mine. So that's the intriguing part. So this lost gold mine is said to be, cursed because the person that originally found it, Slumach of the Katzie First Nation, he was wrongfully committed of murder, hanged, and really kind of thrown through the ringer during that time period of, post-colonialism. And, so he was hung, because he shot a man. And, before he was hung and shot, he said he had a lost gold mine, and he cursed it. So that's kind of that, that sparks a little bit of interest. And you go, well, what's the whole story behind this lost gold mine? Is it, so there's a whole range of historical facts and myths and legends that go way back up into this present day. So we're talking over 100 years of stories, characters, myths, legends, all surrounding this supposedly lost gold mine in the mountains above Pitt Lake.
People have died, people disappeared, people don't come back.
This is what he was after.
We're not going to make the same mistakes. Watch out!
That is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. Now, so Don, I watched the first episode, and it's your daughter, right, Taylor, that actually kept these guys focused on the history and everything else, right?
The top figure has some sort of weapon.
Dusting off a 100-year-old mystery takes more than muscle. So Adam has turned to a close friend with a unique set of skills.
When you go through areas with rich history, you look for people that know that history.
Oh, he's frozen. So Adam, how is this show different than all the other shows you see on the History Channel, like even the Alone season and stuff like that?
Well, this show is different because it actually has, we're on an expedition, team members that actually the objective is a common objective, but we all have different skill sets and we all come from different avenues of life. So we're not necessarily competing against each other. This is not a game show survival type show. This is not a game. So this is different. A lot of shows in the past, they set up characters to be these game show type icons where they're competing against each other, where there's drama. We don't have room for that. We are looking for a lost gold mine, and we have to find it and live. It's a little different because you have a film crew following you around on an expedition, and they're in it just as much as you are, because they have to get in and come out, right? So we're all in this together. They're part of the expedition.
You also had Kru Williams, right?
There's nothing more addictive than panning out some pay dirt and seeing those pretty little Easter eggs pop up out the black sand.
Yeah. So, they kind of, we're all friends and I should say more than friends. It's actually kind of family. It's a family unit that we're operating under of this expedition. Kru is beside me a lot of the time, along with Dawn and Taylor, and we kind of interject different skill sets as we need it in the glacier. So,
and we have Dawn back here. Dawn, if so you can answer, how did you get yourself involved in this?
Well, we've known Adam for some time, and he's one of my adopted sons, I'd say. And I've tried my best to instill with him the limited knowledge that I've had of the wilderness, and he in turn, I think, felt sorry for me and decided to he needed an old guy for the show. So I don't know, it's Adam has been very benevolent in reaching out, and I think between also involving Taylor, because she's been a big part of some of the short movies we've done together in the past with Adam up in the backcountry. So it was sort of it was really a natural bringing together of everybody, and I'm just happy to be honored to be part of the team.
Well, and Taylor is your daughter, right?
Yes.
And also the other gentleman, Kru. Is it Kru? Yeah.
Kru, yeah.
And how do you know him?
Just through Adam. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it all comes back to Adam.
Sounds weird to say I'm a mountaineer. I'm a mountaineer.
You want to check it out and see if it's okay or not? You're pretty good at that. You're pretty good at that. Somebody who will actually go to the places that no one will go, climb the things that no one will climb, and let you know what's on the other side or underneath something. So yeah, you need an Adam.
Way to go, Adam.
This is the challenge we have when we have somebody like Adam who's been dreaming for 20 years about the lost mine and going places where no other human would go, and then he automatically starts looking for I call them victims, people to work with him and bring them in and make them join his journey. I'm just being facetious, but no, he's been very kind in allowing us to be part of this journey. So we don't see it as going down a rabbit hole. We see it as an amazing experience, and we're just thankful that Adam is working with us on this.
That's fantastic. I've watched the first episode, and I got to say, this is my type of show. Like I was really excited to watch this. It's got a solid storyline, solid characters, and it's really well worth to watch. So what really motivated both of you? Probably different things. Did actually the gold motivate you? Being in wilderness motivate you? The sense of history motivate you? Curiosity, did it motivate you? The unknown, the sense of adventure, or just the mystery of it all? Like what was the main carrot in front of the horse?
Well, I think you just said it right there. It was the unknown. That's the huge motivation. For 20 years, I watched people say there's a lost gold mine, and then I see people saying there isn't a lost gold mine.
Hi, I'm Bill Bird. The program is Treasure, and our story is an exciting one about John Slumach, who's supposed to we've had a gold mine hidden away in the wild Pitt Lake mountain country just 60 miles from Vancouver, British Columbia. Shrouded in legend, cursed for over 68 years by the ghost of its owner. Anyone who looks for the Lost Creek mine is walking right into a death trap.
And my objective in all of these expeditions is to prove people right or wrong, and I want to get to the truth, and I want to find, it's the gold is in the history. So, it's one of those things where as a kid, you watched Unsolved Mysteries. Why do people watch that?
We both grew up watching the same shows and reading the same books about this legend.
Welcome to Gold Trails and Ghost Towns. I'm Mike Roberts, and with me is Bill Barley. Today we've got a story that'll just raise the hair on the back of your neck.
The treasure is sometimes called the Lost Mine of Pitt Lake. I'd rather call it Slumach's Lost Mine. On the 16th of January in 1891, he is hanged. Nika Memloos, mine Memloos. Means, when I die, the mine dies.
Every time I watch that show, it put me in a good mood and, just kind of stoked the fire to find that gold.
I think this particular treasure still exists.
Why do people watch that unsolved mystery? Well, Slumach's Lost Gold, that's an unsolved mystery. So, rather than watching it or reading about it, why don't you do it? So, that was my motivation in putting together expeditions every single year for weeks at a time was, I'm not going to watch Unsolved Mysteries. I'm going to go be in it. And that was the perfect expedition. And it was a way, I love climbing. I love, I do a lot of other expeditions in the mountains, whether it's geological, archaeological, and this kind of had all those elements put together. So that's what's fascinating about this is the historical context, the unsolved mystery, and then all of a sudden you get to formulate a team and then execute an expedition. And that's what true exploration is like. That's, to explore back when they did it for reason, for scientific purposes, for geological purposes, that's the true sense of exploration. So this mystery is that the motivation is it's unsolved.
Does it add to it that it's set in a wild area?
Yeah, I mean, that's for me. Obviously, that when people say that it's too dangerous or it's too crazy to go up there, I'm like, well, no, it's not. Maybe for you, but not for me. That's kind of the thing where I like to also. There's the other side is proving people that it can't be done. Well, no, sorry, it can be done, and we're going to do it.
Yeah, you don't want to dare Adam because that's giving him the green light. It's the same thing for me. Everything that's been talked about has been like snapshots of the big picture, and being brought up with uncles and parents growing up near a forest and spending all our time as kids in that forest. My connection to nature has been to listen, and on this journey with our team, it's an honor to be a Seaward Island elder, but at the same point, I don't know everything, and I'm still learning to listen to nature, and the places where we go in the wilderness is speaking to us loud and clear. And so we're going places where a lot of people disappeared at one point, and we're going places where today very few people go. And so, yeah, it's just a real honor to be able to have that connection to nature and learn as we go along.
Do you think then that the people that went to find the gold and died during it, the curse really is a curse, that they didn't really get that connection with the natural world, and that's probably what got them?
I think so. I think that the curse is not a human curse. The curse is nature-based. And whenever we go on these expeditions, we always make sure, we have our safety talks, but we also have our other meetings where we remind each other to be respectful where we're going, where each step we take, we have to honor the ones that have gone before us and the ones that have also that passed that didn't make it out. So it's very much it's a big picture. Like I said, it's not just looking for gold.
That's really interesting. It's also interesting too, where when I was watching, I go, Adam, I know you from somewhere. And I realized it's from outdoor education.
He works with the Stateless community. He actually teaches outdoor education in the school. He takes them to the mountain peaks, he shows them traditional territory, and he explains to them where some of their stories begin.
We learn through feeling something, and to get students to feel something, you take them out to the environment. You inject a little bit of risk, adrenaline, and that's when the learning happens.
You're an outdoor leader, right? Because
yeah.
That's what I do for a job. I actually take students at risk out in the woods to help their anxiety and things like that. And I've been doing it for years. All of a sudden, I know you.
Yeah, it was, it was one of those things where all my worlds have come together through taking and doing expeditions with students. I even taught helicopter students, pilots, adults, and I put them in survival situations. And sometimes I actually even pick a location for that for that survival course where their possibility might be a target for the lost gold mine. So I kind of have a secret agenda to all these things that I do, and they're all connected. And that's for a reason, because I believe that, we should always have passion and purpose for whatever we do. And to me, this lost gold mine, looking for it, has been a center of all that. And for me personally, I like to involve everyone, because I think that's what it takes. What it takes to find this lost gold mine is it takes everyone's perspective. And sometimes when you're with students, whether it's outdoor education for a school, whether it's at-risk youth, whether it's adults, learning to fly a helicopter on a survival course, you take all those perspectives, and it's amazing when you put them in a real life situation where you're not teaching, but you're just learning together, because you're in a situation where it requires learning. So to me, taking students looking for a lost gold mine, that is part of that survival course. That is part of that outdoor education. You have to have purpose, and you have to have reason for being there, and you let the learning unfold naturally. And that's kind of what we do as a team on these expeditions. Is we're all exploring together, and what it takes is each of our eyes, our ears, our feelings, and you just go do it. You have to let things come to you naturally. And, I tell you, when you're in the mountains, that's a level playing field. It brings everyone on the same level. And that goes whether you're, 14 years old or 70 years old. You're in the mountains together, and, it's a level playing field. There's no, someone's not telling you what to do. And that's how I kind of always base my as a teacher or a leader. You don't necessarily tell people what to do, tell kids what to do, tell your students what to do. You let them do it, and you learn together. And then, it has to be natural.
You up?
Daybreak on the Mamquam.
You okay? You look like...
That's what I love about having Dawn on these trips, is it almost brings you back to, you need, that's the great thing about, is, to me, I never understood why people are weirded out when they get older, or like, oh, I'm too old to do this. I'm like, I don't understand. I can't wait till I'm 70. Like, because all the people around me that are older than me, I look up to, and I see the knowledge and the experience that they gain. And I'm like, that's the treasure. The true treasure is in, the greatest expedition in this world is to age, is to get older. That's the true adventure, the adventure in getting older. And I'm like, and I always, I'm kind of weird, most different than most people, because I'm like, man, some of the best climbers and people I've climbed with on expeditions have been 20, 30, 40 years older than me, and I look up to that. And that's the respect, that you always pay respect to the people that have come before you. And, that's the great thing about this legend, is we're following in the footsteps of those pioneers, of those explorers, the original people that put up trap lines, that put up gold mines, the original people thousands of years ago that went goat hunting on those peaks. You're following in those footsteps. And to me, that's what I like about having Dawn with us, is that he brings that sense of, you can't explain it in words. There's no English word for that feeling that you get when you have someone standing beside you with experience and knowledge that interjects. It's like telepathic, a guidance. That's the best I can explain it.
You know, a lot of the people that have gone missing too have been older folks, right? Like 70, 80 years old by themselves, never came back. And, you know, these are people that were not surviving. They were actually living and walking in nature, and they had no fear. And so it's been quite an experience to sort of, you know, walk in their boots and think about that, man, would I do this when I was 80 years old? I don't know, but I hope so.
You're gonna be.
So one of the things that has always been a basis for going forward in exploring is that seeking to always be close to nature, and that's something that the whole team, we're all of the same mind. This isn't based on fear walking through the bush, you know, worried about different things. This is based on, you know, listening to nature. And my grandma used to say, when you hear nature whisper in your ears, you know, her secrets, which challenge the laws of men, when you can hear that voice, then you know you're close. And that rings true to me every step I take. And I'm just, again, so thankful to be part of this exploration and this journey.
Was there any incredible, awesome moment during the filming, without doing any spoilers? What was that sort of like pivotal moment? I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Go ahead, Adam.
Oh man, how do I pick? That's the hardest question ever.
Well, I'll say something, Adam.
You go first, Don.
At the end of one of our evenings, one of our shoots, we had a cougar stalking the cameraman.
Wow.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, right in front of us was this big cat.
Or was it the ghost of?
Well, was that part of the curse, right? Is because we're in that area, because who knows how some of these prospectors went missing. And that, you know, maybe that is part of the curse, right? And our eyes, that part of our being was open to witness what could have been part of the curse back in the day. And it was close.
Yeah, that was definitely it was a reality check, especially for everyone involved, that they had to be aware. I think it was one of those first moments where everyone came together and they kind of had to they realized that awareness is one of the biggest and the most important skills you can have while you're out there. It's awareness. And it was one of those moments where everyone realized that together. And that's when you all come together and you're tired after 14-hour day, you know, in the mountains, you know, exploring, shooting, digging, diving in a waterfall. All of a sudden, everyone just stops and realizes that, you know what, the biggest thing, the most important skill, the most important thing you can do right now is to be aware. Awareness is key, and it's always being aware. And that's what, you know, from that point on, that moment on, everyone, cast, crew, became aware of where we are, what we're doing, and essentially, you know, where we're going to be going, because it's only going to get, we're only going deeper, and it's only going to get crazier. And it's a great, that moment was the pivotal moment of a skill set that everyone had at the same time, learned together. And that comes back to that, what I was saying before, you have to let learning be natural. And that was a natural moment.
And the one thing too, in the very beginning, when we first started this journey, we said from the very beginning, expect the unexpected. And that's exactly what we were faced with, the unexpected.
And that's fantastic. And there's 8 episodes. Only 1 has aired so far, probably 2 by the time this goes out. But everybody should check this out. You guys did an amazing job. Really solid storyline, and glued to the seat watching it. So yeah. And and this is supposed to be a whiskey fireside chat, but it's noon for me and it's probably 9 in the morning for you. So I'm drinking tea. And But
Dave.
thank you for all this, Miigwech. And yeah, I think this is a fantastic show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All I can say is something happened.